Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Friday, October the 31st. My name is Barry Enerson and I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get in, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. Well, today is Halloween and I really didn't find too many treats today. Actually, I only traded three stocks, and they're all kind of the same in terms of what I was looking for. Two of them worked out. One worked out not too badly, one was okay, and the other did not work. So let's take a look at them. First one was Tiva, and now a couple of things here. I mean, obviously Tiva was coming down. Here are some candles coming down, but what alerted me was this big volume bar right here. And so when I saw that, looking like the pullback was over, and it looked like it was going to start to move up. So on this volume bar, I decided to take the trade, 56.21, and I exited half at 56.33 right there. And then as it was coming down, I exited the other half at 56.29. And I know it moved up, and it's up quite a bit from where I bought, but I certainly would have been stopped out right there. Now, argument could be made that I may have got in here, but then I would have got stopped out again. Just kind of choppy. I mean, nothing. What we'd like to see in a trade like this is this move here, maybe a little bit, and then a flattening, and then something like this, a flattening, something like, another. But when you get all these moves, I mean, they're going to, unless you have a very, very wide stop, you're going to be taken out of a day trade. The next one was PEG. Now, PEG actually was pretty darn good, actually. Same thing. Now, this is a utility stock, and utilities, the utility sector has been on fire, and many of these are making all-time highs, like lifetime highs, and I think PEG is even one of them. But a lot of the utility stocks are doing that. So here is the volume bar right there. This big, huge volume bar alerted me to start watching PEG, and so it was right on this candle here. And what I liked about it is that it was nice little consolidation in this area here. What do we got? 40.99, 41.11. So 10 cents, 11 cents, and it was above the whole number. So I took the trade right here at 41.16, right on this candle here, and I actually got out. I actually said that I thought it would be more of a scalp for me because I didn't think that this was going to move that much. I thought it would be, kind of steady, but nothing dramatic. And so I wanted to take a little bit of profit. And so I took the profit here at 41.26. And I have to admit, it did surprise me. It moved really well and actually got as high as 41.64. And I sold it on the way back down at 41.49. So a nice trade. I mean, based on the alert here, and I am really going to start watching these sort of alerts a lot more. These volume alerts to see, especially when what I like to see is when there's no movement. So you see here is the candle. There's a 5-minute candle, 41.12 to what, 41.19. So very, very little movement on this big volume. So it's always interesting then for me when I see this volume and there's no movement right afterwards is to just start watching it for a few candles and see if there's any follow through afterwards. And in this particular case and in Tiva, certainly there was follow through. Sometimes it's only going to be good for a scalp, but sometimes, I mean, I don't consider this a scalp. I consider this a nice trade, and a scalp to me is like a 10 or 15 cents, but this one to me is not a bad trade at all, especially with a pretty tight stop on it. Now, the last one I did was KKR, and that one did not work. But same principle. Look at this huge volume spike. Now, I have to admit, this sort of choppy action probably should have kept me out of this one because, what I would have liked to have seen more on this volume spike is more of a flat sort of basing here. Now, let me just see, 2171. 2183. It's not horror. It's not. It looks a lot worse than it is with the chart elongated the way it is. So I suppose in retrospect, it's not unlike PEG before, but there was just something about it that it didn't feel right to me. And so when I did take the trade, though, I saw. So here's the volume bar. And then on the next bar, it did start to move up. So I thought, okay, I'm going to take the trade. Took it at 21.86, but I did point out in the room that we're close to a whole number, and so we could get a stalling there. And it didn't even really come close. And so again, with this action right afterwards, I decided to bail quite early actually, because arguably I could have put my stop down here, but I just this action just said to me, you know what? This volume bar does not mean what I want it to mean. It's not going to go up on this particular one anyway. So I bailed at 21.82 for a 4 cent loss. So, but I am going to really start watching these a lot more. I get quite a few of these alerts all day long, so it's hard for me to watch them all. But something like this, it has to be significant. I mean, you're cruising along 5 minute candles, so an hour, 2 hours, and then all of a sudden you get this. So the fact that it didn't work this time doesn't mean, well, then, this sort of an idea doesn't work at all. So definitely going to be watching this a lot more closely. Didn't have very many bounce plays today. Um, I know one we were watching, BMY. Uh, we were hoping right here. Here's the pullback, and then it started to consolidate right here. And I actually said if it could get above 40, 50, into the 80s from here, but it just didn't do it. And this could have been prime because at this point here, 57.77, and could have made it up to here, 58.38 would have been a great little play. Excuse me, but no, it just was not meant to be. And so once that happened, I forgot about it, and that was it. So, end of a month, Halloween tonight. Hope everybody has a great time, a great weekend, and I hope to see you in the trading room on Monday.